oh, now it's freaking brighter when I'm not in recording mode, but then when I record, it gets darker. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about the Midlink and Midlink Mobile. Midlink is my username for a couple years now, and it is from Zelda. I got a Zelda reference. I took, one of my favorite characters is Midna, and then I like Link, of course. So I decided to smash the names together. Midna, took the NA off of Midna and then put it right next to Link. So Midlink, something simple. That's the basic explanation of why I made that name, but I figured I also introduce, like a little history about how I became such. I don't mean to sound cocky, but I'm very enthusiastic about Zelda. Honestly, I have a case, I have a watch. I want to make I want to make a video on it just because I do have a lot of stuff. You can't see right there, but that is a Groose plushie right there. I'll show you sometime. But I am very enthusiastic about that. It's kind of like, on the people who might say it's a little bit obsession, but it is. I'm saying I'm very enthusiastic about it. But I wasn't always like that. I didn't grow up. I wanted to kind of explain how I got into it, into Zelda. So let's begin. It started. I'm gonna say the first memory, but not really a memory. Is I think I was just told this. There was picture. I can somewhat remember a picture that either my dad showed me or my family. Someone had an old picture of me when I was a baby, and I can remember my dad playing Nintendo, and I could have sworn on the picture. It also showed the TV and actually showed that he was playing the original Zelda for the Nintendo. So that would be like the first thing. But I knew my dad always played even when I was younger, even though I don't remember him playing it, and he let me play around with it. I was probably under the age of 2. I was still that young where I didn't know, of course, what I was doing. I was bashing buttons around, and I was seeing something move on the TV, so I was entertained very easily now. But my first memory that I have of it, and I actually used this packaging style ever since then, but my first memory was opening this big box on Christmas Day for my dad, or Santa. Santa is real, by the way, but my dad decided to get me an extra gift. And I remember the big box. Now, I was younger. I thought the box was almost taller than me, and I remember almost hunching over to try to get to what was in the box. And in this big box was 3 smaller boxes. 2 were about the same size, and 1 was a little bit bigger. The big one was the Game Boy that came with Tetris. The next one was tennis. Tennis. And I still have all 3 of these games. I think I did actually post on my Twitter a picture of it still working on my Game Boy Color that I have. And then the last one was The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. But I was probably 8 or 9 at the time when I got it, so I wasn't into Zelda yet. That really into it. I played around with it. I remember one memory I remember of it was I think I was playing it more when I was actually getting used to the style. I was actually older when I started playing it before I could beat it. But I remember with that game, it was the first time I swore for my parents, and it was at that age where, when I was younger, when you get that age where you think you're old enough, you can start swearing, you're all cool and everything. And I forget what I said, but it wasn't a word that I wouldn't use in that context. It was completely out of it. I think I said the B word when I got scared. I'm like, what? But I think I really started getting into Zelda with probably a lot of everyone's favorite game, and when it became popular was Ocarina of Time. My dad got the N64, he got Mario 64, Super Mario 64, sorry. And he got Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I watched him play it the entire time, and I started playing it once he was getting closer to the end, and I love how it's getting darker now. Maybe I can lighten this up and edit it. But I remember him playing it, I remember him beating it, I remember him the final scenes of him on the TV playing, and it's the final scene where Zelda plays Ocarina to send Link back to the younger years. I remember that, and I remember that's one scene. I can remember the room we were in, the apartment, and everything, and I think that's what kind of got me hooked, was that game specifically. And that is one of my top games. As you know, my favorite is Twilight Princess. Excited for HD coming out soon. But I think ever since then, I started becoming one. I became a fan of it. And I played that, of course. I played that, beat that. I've beaten that game so many times. I've never speed run the game, but I do have, I think the fastest I've beaten that game was 10.5 hours. Just going, trying to beat it as fast, doing everything, going on temples, no skipping or anything, 10.5 hours. So I can technically wake up one night, wake up in the morning, 8 o'clock, and playing it straight through, maybe with breaks, and probably do it in like 12 hours, if you want to say that, with lunch breaks, bathroom breaks, and so forth, which I do want to do. And ever since then, I remember I remember I was doing bad in school, and I got, my dad didn't know, my dad thought I was doing good, and he actually was about to reward me the day he found out I was doing bad, and he got me the Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 64 with the gold controller. And I remember that because I got it, he was like, so he told me he was disappointed in me and everything. When I got home, we ate dinner and everything. I'm disappointed, and, you know, I thought you were doing good. I even got you something. Go in the bedroom and look. And I go in there, and I see it, and I'm like, dang. And I was grounded for, I think, 2 weeks without playing it until my grades got better, which I think the progress report something was coming up at that point. So I had 2 weeks to get my grades back up. Of course, I got them back up, and I played it. There's just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of memories that deal with that, you know. I remember, what was it, I'm going to end it right there, because I could talk about, it's already 7 minutes long. I'm going to do a little bit of clipping, but really, I could talk about this for like hours. So, yeah, that's a quick little video that I wanted to post, about just the start of me doing Zelda. Yeah, alright. Till next time, guys. Bye.